Welcome to the Insight Lab. I'm Ethan. And I'm Lila. Here, we dive into meaningful conversations about growth, mindset, and intentional living. Together, we explore ideas that spark change and uncover practical insights to help you thrive. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's start this journey of discovery together. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today, we are diving into a topic that touches us all at some point: midlife awakening. It's a concept brought to light through the book Awakening in Midlife by Arthur Brooks. Exactly. It's fascinating because Brooks talks about how, past a certain age, life shifts from a wild gallop to a more grueling uphill climb. It's almost poetic and a little intimidating. Right? It really makes you think about how age can often chase us down like a beast. Even successful people aren't immune to the pressures and realities of aging. Totally. If we think about it, whether you're a celebrity or someone in a regular job, there comes a time when you feel like you're on a downhill slope. Brooks even shares a story of a famous man feeling useless after his career peaked. Can you imagine that? Oh wow, that's a striking image. It challenges the notion that success protects you from feelings of inadequacy in midlife. It's pretty shocking to realize that even our idols grapple with feelings of failure or irrelevance. Exactly. And isn't it true that no matter our achievements, life has periods of rise and fall? This brings to mind renowned figures like Darwin and Dirac, who, after their major breakthroughs, faced stagnation or despair. Yes. The idea that even someone like Darwin, who brought forth the theory of evolution, later found himself feeling uninspired highlights that no career path has a guaranteed continued success. That's a humbling thought. It leads us to the crux of Brooks' message that how we respond to midlife challenges can redefine our future. If we fall into despair, that's one choice. But if we awaken, well, that's a different path. Yes. I love that idea of awakening. Brooks emphasizes understanding when we're on that downward slope and pivoting rather than just pushing against it with all our might. So true. It's like Brooks' own journey. He had this early success in music, but it all came crashing down, leading him to rethink his direction in life. Right. He managed to reinvent himself as a professor and found joy in his new career. That's incredibly inspiring. One of the key takeaways from his book is that acknowledging our decline can actually be liberating. It's about modifying our identities, not clinging to past glories. And the book mentions that we're all like that mouse stuck in a rice jar. At first, it feels great being at the top, but when the resources deplete, panic sets in. That metaphor is so relatable. We often think our jobs offer stability when they might just turn into traps. Definitely. And Brooks provides several strategies for avoiding this trap. One is the idea of get this intellectual awakening, where you shift the kind of work you do. Oh yes. Emphasizing the importance of crystallized intelligence as we age rather than fluid intelligence is key. We become better at applying our experience rather than inventing something new. Exactly. It's all about adapting to your strengths, which is so empowering. Plus, there's the concept of realigning our values, especially as we enter the latter half of our careers. Right. Instead of being driven by fear, like that character Ruther in the book, prioritizing happiness and fulfillment can radically change one's experience. And imagine the freedom that brings. Letting go of status, wealth, or title can actually lead to a more satisfied life. Yes. And the section on humility and embracing our weaknesses. That was a real eye-opener. So true. It's brave to show vulnerability, and paradoxically, it opens doors for new opportunities. For sure. Brooks' own story shows that embracing unconventional routes led to greater success. He turned his unique education into a winning asset. And let's not forget about surrounding ourselves with a positive community. The support from peers becomes invaluable. Absolutely. The analogy with the trembling poplar trees that rely on their root systems is beautiful. When we connect with others, we grow stronger. So, if anything, midlife doesn't have to be a crisis. It can mark the beginning of a new journey or a second spring. Indeed, the key is recognizing any crisis early and making conscious shifts before it's too late. Before we wrap up, let's summarize. Awakening in midlife can help us chart a new course once we don't fear change but embrace it. And remember, peaks and valleys are all a part of life. Acknowledging this helps us navigate smoother through both. Exactly. Let's encourage our listeners to identify their own potential awakenings and maybe start a conversation about how they can pivot in their lives. Great idea. Thanks for sharing this insightful discussion, and for our listeners out there, we hope this helps you reflect on your own lives. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking that next awakening.